What if the exact thing that you are, relying on to save you? What if the exact thing you're relying on, like your ambition or your perfectly planned 5-year roadmap, is actually the exact mechanism that's mathematically designed to make you miserable?
I mean, it's a pretty wild thought to start with.
Right. Well, welcome to this deep dive. Today, we are getting into a framework that suggests clinging to the storyline of your life isn't what brings happiness. And honestly, whether you are just feeling super bogged down by your own life's drama right now, or if you're just insanely curious about Eastern philosophy and mysticism, this deep dive is going to provide some serious aha moments about, well, how to let go.
Yeah, we really are unpacking a profound concept today. It's based on this incredibly dense, fascinating audio excerpt detailing the 40-second gene key.
Which is just a fascinating text.
It really is. It maps out this specific Buddha path, a transformational journey that starts in the really heavy, suffocating shadows of expectation, and then it ends in this ultimate state of celebration. Yeah, and it establishes right away that this source material isn't just about abstract spirituality.
Right, it's super practical for daily life.
Exactly. It's practically the complete works of Shakespeare, like the tragedies, the comedies, the histories, all of it wrapped up in our relationship to the story of our lives.
Okay, let's unpack this, because I do want to question the text's idea that hope and ambition are somehow traps. I mean, isn't giving up ambition kind of like getting into a car and just refusing to touch the steering wheel? Like, how does anyone get anywhere at all without that drive?
That is such a natural reaction.
Yeah.
It's a great question. The source actually makes a really crucial distinction here. Hope itself isn't the problem. Hope is actually the natural energy of evolution.
Oh, okay. So hope is good.
Yeah, hope is that vital impulse. The problem only happens when the rational mind, when it hijacks that hope and turns it into rigid expectations.
Ah, I see. Like demanding a specific outcome.
Precisely. You expect the car to go exactly where you want, exactly when you want. But life inevitably goes off script.
Well,
And when it does, we are plunged into what the text calls the dilemma of disappointment.
because we were so locked into the shadow of expectation, we over-identify with the cast of our lives, right? Like, we cast people in specific roles, and then we just get mad when they don't read their lines.
Yes, exactly. We assign these rigid roles, and the central character in all of those internal dramas, the one secretly driving that expectation, is death.
Wait, death.
Yeah, our view of death basically dictates our suffering. The text contrasts the Eastern and Western approaches to mortality. In the East, the belief in reincarnation gives them a huge advantage.
Because they believe they'll come back.
Right. Detachment is way easier because you're just an actor playing a temporary role in this life.
Wow. Yeah, so if you mess up this scene, there's always the next play.
Exactly. But then look at Western materialism.
Yeah.
The belief that death is the absolute final end.
Right, the clock is ticking.
Yes, and that existential dread leads to one of two things. Either a really rare, beautiful life dedicated entirely to art and being present, or, much more commonly, a selfish, panicked grab for control.
Which makes total sense. If time is running out, you panic. And that leads to those two types of victims of fate that the source mentions, doesn't it?
Yes, the two victims.
You have the one victim who just gets pummeled by life, realizes their rigid expectations failed, and just totally gives up. They collapse.
Right.
And then you have the other victim who tries to force the universe into submission through pure brute willpower, just forcing things to happen.
And the tragedy is that both of those victims are doomed. I mean,
Yeah.
they are both going to run out of energy and run out of time. Forcing your will against the universe just doesn't work.
So if forcing our will always ends in disappointment, there just has to be an antidote.
Okay.
Which directly leads into the next frequency we need to look at, the gift of detachment.
What's fascinating here is that we usually think of detachment as being emotionally cold,
Yeah.
aloof. But the text says detachment actually opens the heart.
Wait, really? It opens it.
Yeah, it completely redefines detachment as this supreme trust and surrender to the universe's choreography.
Oh, wow.
It's the realization that life actually knows what is best, which turns these massive obstacles into huge opportunities for growth.
That is such a shift in perspective. It's like reading a thriller where someone spoiled the twist ending for you.
Oh, I like that.
Right. Like if you already know exactly what happens, the thrill is completely gone. The anxiety of the unknown, that sheer unpredictability, is actually the price of admission for an exciting life.
I love that analogy. It's so true. And evolving into that state of surrender, it requires us to become more feminine or yielding on the inside. It's a very yin quality.
Yeah, the text gets into some deep nuance there about men and women, doesn't it?
It does. It has this really crucial observation about women in the modern world. It
Yeah.
points out how generations of hardship basically forced women to dig super deep into the yang, that masculine energy.
Right, to protect their honor and their independence, they had to be fierce just to survive.
Exactly. And the text says the next beautiful stage of evolution is reuniting that fierce courage with divine tenderness, bringing back the yin so they can become whole again.
That is so powerful. And to do that, to really surrender, the text talks about this Indian concept called skandhas, right?
Yes, they are these subtle layers of attachment that we all carry around.
And peeling those skandhas is like letting go of literally everything. You transcend these layers, and it means dropping all attachments, even attachments to your own gender identity.
Well, it unravels everything.
It just leads to a much wider, way more open heart because you aren't restricted by those labels anymore.
Exactly. You start engaging more playfully with the grand illusion of the drama.
So what does this all mean? Like, if we peel away all these layers and we actually master the art of letting go, what is actually left at the core? What happens when we reach the very end of this path?
We reach the final stage, which the text calls the city of celebration. It's the ultimate state.
But I have to push back on this a bit. Because the text talks about breathing completely without resistance and having a body that's totally empty of fear. Is that just a poetic metaphor for feeling happy? Or is the text claiming an actual physical transformation?
It is quite literal in the source material, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it describes this as heaven on earth. It's a physiological state where even your thoughts become the thoughts of God, engendering total bliss.
Oh, wow. So it's a real biological shift.
According to the text, yes.
Yeah.
And this connects to what it calls the ring of living and dying. This ring supposedly contains the codes to essentially unpick the mystery of the soul entering and leaving the body.
That sounds so intense. How does a person even build up to that kind of bliss? I mean, it can't just happen overnight.
No, it's an evolution. The text maps out a specific constellation of other CDs or ultimate states that build this up. First, there's the third CD, which is innocence. Think Adam and Eve in the garden.
Like an adult returning to a totally childlike state without all that cynicism.
Exactly. And then once that noise fades, you have the 24th city, which is silence. But it's not a deathly empty silence. It's a silence of light and illumination.
Right. The internal anxiety just totally stops.
Yes. And from that illuminated silence, you reach the 23rd city, quintessence. You finally connect with the absolute heart of hearts within yourself.
Which then spills over, right, into the 27th city, that selfless, just totally unconditional caring for everything around you.
You nailed it. You care because you see yourself in the world, and all of that culminates in the 20th city, pure presence in the eternal now.
And when all those states combine, the text makes this wild claim that the grand illusion, the Maya, is completely shattered.
Yes, the grand illusion drops away entirely.
And that's when it says superpowers become possible, like the body literally living to a great age or cells transfiguring back into pure quintessence. Because you realize you are eternal, like the physical body might die, but that quintessence absolutely cannot.
It's the ultimate triumph over the script we thought bound us. Death just loses all its finality.
It's just mind-blowing. But I love how after all this dense mysticism, it brings it all together with the ultimate punchline, the cosmic joke.
It's so good.
The source material literally references The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where the supercomputer reveals the secret of the universe is just the number 42.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the 42nd city literally is that cosmic joke.
It's hilarious. The answer is nonsense because trying to logically control the universe is nonsense.
Exactly. The universe isn't a problem to solve. Only someone who has completely transcended death and surrendered everything, someone who has experienced what mystics call the second birth, can truly get the joke.
They actually hear the laughter of the Buddhas and the angels.
Yes, it's just joyous relief. And it brings the definitive end to all our world myths about achievement. It ushers in the true happily ever after. As a text quotes from Wordsworth, hills peep over hills.
Hills peep over hills, meaning there are no true endings, just endless refinement, endless vistas to explore.
Beautifully put. There is no final static mountaintop to panic about.
Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive. But I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over today. If the ultimate superpower of the 42nd gene key isn't about controlling your destiny, but about finding absolute bliss in the unpredictability of this very second, what is one expectation you're holding on to right now that you could trade for a moment of celebration?